Greetings, friends of Louis. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, King of Louisville, Episode 19, Demolition Man. Before I start my day, one thing I haven't really done is check on the crops. I don't really have any farming skill at the moment, so I can't tell if it's growing phase or health all that effectively. But I wanted to make sure that if there's any devil's water fungus or anything like that, I know about it while you guys finish up your vote. Got to make sure, you know, my potatoes are coming in other words. How many generators do I have now? I have just the one. So if I want to power up the gas station, I would need another generator. Or if I want to do maintenance on my current generator, or even potentially power up other spots of the city, I would need additional generators. This all looks well and good so far. All well watered, all flourishing, no diseases. So I'm going to call that checked. I do not have the... I don't have the book for farming red, though. So I think what I'll do today is just do a little light reading so that I can actually benefit from the skills that I'm likely to invest in. Allie K, thank you for the resub. I'm glad that I could help keep you entertained this week. You know, maybe while I do that, because we were working on tailoring, right? I will launder my clothing. It'll be the first wash cycle ever in this base. Again, laundering clothing doesn't really matter, but I'm going to do it anyway. It only matters when you have an open wound and it can get infected from like bloody clothing, or if you're like, you know, have a fear of blood. I suppose that would do it too. Down to your skivvies. Cool. And turning that on. So it is plumbed properly because it was able to turn on in the first place. And then, you know what I'm going to do is start to cook some of these stale stuff. Knowing that a lot of my food is going to go bad eventually, because freezing it doesn't keep it perfect, I'll start to make a point to cook the soon-to-be stale food, like... Right now I'm doing the salmon, but it looks like the sausage is on its way out, as is the steak. This seems pretty reasonable to me. Looks to me like you guys want me to secure the surrounding area. So I actually looked up on the PZ map what the chunk of my base is, so that I know what to secure. So I'm gonna show you right now. I'm going to do my best to paint the chunk with let's do black arrows. Just so that you can visualize the chunk. So what are chunks? Before you guys, you probably want to know what chunks are. So what a chunk is it's a geographical area that like loads into code, into memory, and unloads. And why it's important is that zombies will respawn in any chunk that isn't visited every 72 hours. So if I'm trying to secure the neighborhood, I need to know where the chunk boundaries are, which is a little weird that you need to know all this like stuff that's kind of invisible to the player. But the chunk is as follows. Hang on, my brain is... So this is... The chunk goes... Okay, let me try over. The chunk goes right along here, along this arrow. I wish I could just like make actual lines, and it goes out into the water. So this is the southeastern bound, which is actually just next to the base, which is not ideal for a base location. And then it continues to go down. This is what, the apartment building. This is the boxing ring, I think. And then these are the apartments, and it goes down to this intersection. And then the chunk continues up this way until it hits water over here. I think it cuts actually just south of this building. So it's not a perfect area, but this is the closest approximation to the chunk. Now, in order to secure this area, what's going to be more important is this wall going from southwest to northeast, because I don't want the zombies on the other side of this wall wandering in. Sort of the way that Zomboid works is, as I said, any tile that isn't visited every 72 hours will respawn zombies, so that zombies will, and unless you change the game settings, so zombies will constantly respawn unless you're touring the area, and I don't want to do that because it's boring. And then zombies will also migrate and group up and travel. So if I get a wall, if I get this southeast wall, it's going to do a lot to prevent the zombies from just sort of freely wandering in. So that's that would be the chunk area. Unfortunately, that does not extend to the gas station, which is here. This blue arrow is the gas station. So that's kind of how that works. The other thing, though, is how to secure the zone. So part of me thinks that, and maybe I'll have you guys vote, but how to wall off the neighborhood with, so there's a few different options. Wood and metal is basically the easiest two. So the benefit of wood is it's going to be easier because I already have the requisite skills to do it. But the problem with that is it also breaks line of sight, and I can't attack zombies through it. Whereas if I do it with fencing, it's a lot of skill grinding, which really might be unpleasant. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if I did chain link fencing, I could see past the, to the other side of the fence and stab them with spears and keep the perimeter protected and see where the zombies are on the other side of the perimeter. So both are valid ways to protect your neighborhood. One is a lot easier for me to accomplish, and the other not so much. And then, Allie, you asked, how did I build on the other side of the railing on the second floor? So I built on the other side by bashing the railing down, and then with a sledgehammer, and then just building. You can't have some sort of boundary, like a fence or a railing, between you and where you want to build. So you have to break it down. And in fact, I probably should break these two railings, because I bump into them constantly. Maybe I'll do that now, while I wait for my clothing to be dried. I kind of forget how I organize things. Weapons were over a year? Leather strips. Oh no, this is tailoring clothing. And then down here is my books, more books, VHS tapes, magazines. Sledgehammer is actually... But where did I put it? It's got to be in one of these shelves, right? I'm not worried about losing it, because there's like probably 3 or 4 of them downstairs. So the only issue with building it in metal is the skill grind to level up my metal. Because it's going to require considerable investment time to level up to the point where I can actually put fences in. So it's a significant investment. Oh, nope, don't turn on washer. Turn on the dryer. Another thing I could do is I could run a load of clothing for the other clothing that I have, but I don't think I'm going to. Did I leave it on the roof? Oh, well, I see one just like down there. Do lower walls have less health than higher walls? I don't know what you mean by lower and higher. You mean fences versus walls? What is a lower wall? Alright, so that's nice and fueled. I can sort of answer you, which is the health of a wall is dependent upon one trait, which is handy, and then the skill at which the person has building the wall. So the more skilled you are, the tougher the wall is, and if you have handy, it gets an extra 100 HP. All right, he's getting bored. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to do. Yes. Completely 100% just leap. Okay, where is my sledgehammer? I see one here, but it's odd that I couldn't find my normal one. So if you're trying to self-build a house, I suggest you you take the handy trait, because it will make what you build tougher, which is useful. Probably don't need to get rid of that railing though. That's good enough. So, if I am doing metal, and that looks to be the case, what I'm going to need to do is to level up like crazy. What's the saddest way I've died? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. So there are, there's a bunch of different types of walls here. There is, here, let me set it up so that you can actually see the overlays. So there's wooden stakes, which do nothing. Barbed fences, wooden fences, sandbag walls, gravel bag walls. Those aren't so much... They're not going to stop zombies. They're things to jump over. And then there's actual walls, log walls, which would require a lot of trees. That's not that viable in a city. And then wooden frame walls. And then there is, of course, walls that are made with metalworking. Fences that are made with metalworking that I don't currently have access to. So those are the ones that I'd be going after. And Jojakim, thank you for the resub. I need a place of honor for the sledge. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so it looks like priority is going to be to secure the neighborhood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the neighborhood by traveling around in the immediate area, making sure that the buildings are empty. And dismantling any metalwork structures that I can in order to level up my metalwork, so that I'm doing two things at once. You know, leveling up my my metalworking and also securing the immediate area. So if I am going to be delving into the dangerous areas, I probably do want to at least tailor up my immediate clothing. So, to prep for all of these tasks, I'm going to do a little bit of reading ahead of time. I need to get the tailoring book read, I need to get the farming book read, and then I will start going, like, apartment building to apartment building. Clearing it out and making sure it's safe. So the steak is going stale. And the sausage. How come I don't use jeans or cloth strips for leveling? I do. So I don't know what you mean. I level my tailoring by ripped clothing. It's kind of how I do it. You must have missed the end of last stream when I did that like 100 times. So many times. What kind of job does he have? He's unemployed. Unfortunately, these stale meats are making me very bored, so I'm having to read, cook, and also read magazines at the same time. If I get my hands on coveralls, I have a lot of spots for tailoring. Yeah. The spots for tailoring aren't that much of a problem when you just F6 race through it, though. It's less of a concern. It's more just like I need material. Mostly thread is the bottleneck. I need thread to be able to do a lot of tailoring. And the reason I want to tailor up is so that my armor is as good as it can be going from house to house, room to room. Because you don't want to be vulnerable in close quarters with zombies. That's a recipe for sadness. Toronto Naibu. Thank you for the resub. I'm sure I got that name wrong. And Roku Bunky, too. I missed that. All right, so we're almost done with the tailoring book. I just wanted to get the tailoring book read fully before I started adding leather strips into my current clothing so that I benefit from it a little better. How often do I fight katanas? Almost never. They're exceedingly rare. As they probably should be. I'm going to be adding leather strips to the parts of my body that are the least covered, like shins and gloves or hands first, and then I'll do the rest of it, because I just don't think I'm going to have a lot of thread in order to do this. All right. Diamond patterned sweater. Yep, add a thread. So I'll go continue the tailoring by just getting a little thread off of stripped zombies. I need to add more sheet ropes there, so I don't keep jumping. A lot of the zombies in the meter area I've already stripped for clothing. This task is already pissing off. Pissing him off badly. Oh well. Not my problem. I'll read a newspaper every... Ooh, I canceled that. Okay, I got 4 spools or 3 1/4 spools of thread from that. That's not bad. That should be able to get me the rest of my clothing protected before going house to house. It's crazy how fast your character can, like, get thread from clothing. Was this window? Okay, we have a hole in that window, too. I haven't really secured the immediate area, which might be first order of business. When I'm trying to secure the neighborhood, I might as well have a secure house first. But I'll keep these ripped sheets for when I want to actually train tailoring later. Because I now have 200 of them exactly. Oops. No, quit favoring it. Misclicking. So I'll probably be very overheated with all of the layers that I'm wearing, but at least I'll be protected. And I am out of leather strips. What else? It's a leather jacket, long sleeve shirt. Seriously? Okay, just take all the strips. And I think I'm out of thread. It's expensive. It's very effortful to tailor up all your clothing. Do items on the floor cause lag? Not so much lag, but it does bloat your save game file. Every item that exists in the game is additional data in your save game file. So for if you don't want to lag in multiplayer, what is sometimes necessary to do is to set it up so that certain common items decay. Project Zomboid by default is set up so that things like t-shirts and hats decay, and glasses. But if you're running into performance issues, you're going to have to expand that list. And that's in the server settings. So you can expand it to delete zombies much more quickly, or whatever, however you think will be best. You just have to make a judgment call as running your own server. Alright. I know I'm getting off task here, but it's so that Louis here can survive. If we're going room to room, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous things to do. Like, it's very easy to fight in the open, because you can see the zombies, you can run away, and you can maneuver. But being inside and going room to room is definitely some of the most dangerous things you can do in Zomboid. So, if I'm going to be clearing out the neighborhood, I want to be as protected as possible. Which is why I'm taking these precautions. That, and it levels up my tailoring, which is useful. And these corpses here will inevitably decay, and I'll lose the opportunity to get thread and tailoring skill off of them. Might as well do it now while they're here. And do it before they start stinking up the place with their corpse rot, making me all sick. Alright, annotated house. Oh, I already marked that. Yep. I already have that marked. You wouldn't say this is off task, but a rather important part of preparing to clear the neighborhood? Yeah, you know, I agree with you. 100%. Not because it, yeah, well, for a lot of different reasons. If we want to survive the task, we got to prepare properly for the task. Oh, there's canned, what's in here? Mushroom soup. Mine now. I'm gonna start getting sick, though, being around all these zombies for too long, so that's another concern. So I'm gonna need to move on. Where's the one with the perp? Yeah, there you are. I'm also starting to suffer just from the sheer encumbrance of all the weight of the loot, the thread and sheets I have. I have probably an absurd amount of sheets now. Yeah, it's almost 300. I'm getting rid of the dirty ones. I don't need to waste my water, given that this is obviously, as I've established, not a finite resource. There's always going to be more zombies. Now, as time progresses, what ends up happening is the zombies that you do find won't have nice clothing. They'll have very tattered clothing as the apocalypse rolls on. Which is another reason to get tailoring early, so that you can fix the tattered clothing, so that you yourself will have proper protective clothing if you survive a long time. Because in, like, I'm going to make up a number, but like 3 months in game, it's, other than searching people's bureaus and dressers in a house, it's going to be really uncommon to find zombies with fully intact clothing, just because the game simulates that they've been, like, wandering around for a long time. Yeah, alright, so I'm starting to get queasy from being around all these rotted zombies, so let's get out of here. You guys are gross. Another 550 rip sheets. I also made some sheet ropes. I must have misclicked. That was an accident, but I'll stick them on the shelf. Spending the entire day stripping clothing off zombies makes me ridiculously tired. But that does mean that, since I'm almost done, tomorrow should be a day of door-to-door zombie clearing. So I think that that's all the clothing I have. So my numbers are not great, because I'm still a fledgling tailor. But, they're getting better. $16 spools, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. So head's 100%, and then upper torso is 100% for scratch. The forearms and upper arms are 80% for scratch. The thigh, groin area is like 70%. Boots are 100%, but that's really easy to do. Hands, neck, and shins are the least protected. Have I been to the house on the annotated map? I have not, no. But it wasn't a particularly interesting point of interest, I don't think. It wasn't like, oh, here's a bunch of guns. It was just like, yeah, this is where people died. So I'm getting a little bit of a late start. It's almost noon. And I'll carry around fresh chicken and a bag of peas with me. That's how we do it. Wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to carry at least 2 sheet ropes in my backpack, so that if I need to get out of a building from the 2nd floor, I can do it quickly. And let's go. Hey, Joint, thank you for the resub. So one of the things I'm going to want to do is to carry around a propane torch and a welder's mask, so that when the opportunity arises to level up my metalworking, I can do it. Like dismantling filing cabinets. And actually, you know what? I lied. I am going to need to read the metalworking book first, aren't I? I think. Yes. So I apologize, but I think the rest of today is going to be spent doing that. Because there's no point in trying to level up my metalworking without the book first. Crops are looking fuller. These are actually harvestable, but they're not seeding. So that means I need to also read the farming book too. Man, being a slow reader kind of a little rough. Hey, bud. But fortunately, I can just F6 speed through the reading. So, more preparations. I really should have put the current priority as prepare to level metal work and clear the neighborhood. There we go. Stickiest, thank you for the resub. Yep, my weight is definitely dropping. It is certainly harder to keep your weight up now than it ever was. You can also start to see vines and the like creeping up the walls. So metalwork 1 is done. Farming 1 I should probably read as well. And I am running a little low on gasoline. I just topped it up. I haven't done the math, but I'll need to make a gasoline run sometime. So with metalwork done, let's put that away. I will carry around metalwork 2 in my backpack so I can read it if I do level up. So tomorrow I'll read farming, probably defrost some potatoes, and then get going. Will he drink the milk anytime soon? No, milk is useful for farming, to make mildew spray. So I don't drink milk. I use it for farming. Instead of eating potatoes, let's eat bacon. Is gas limited? Yes. Gas is limited, propane's limited. Things that aren't limited are going to be things that you can find on zombies, or things that you can forage in nature. If you can't find it on zombies or forage in nature, technically it's finite. With gasoline, it's finite, but like not that finite. Because there's tons of gas stations and it's really easy to get gasoline. For propane, it's finite and actually might matter. Because there's, you can definitely run out of propane and not know where to find more. Because there's a definite finite amount of propane tanks on the map. So if you want to, like, dismantle every wrecked car on the road, you'll probably run out of propane, and there won't be any propane left in the whole world for you to obtain. Unless, of course, you have loot respawn turned on, but that would be very custom. Most people don't. Oh, yep. I definitely need to read the farming book, because these cabbages are 100% ready to be harvested. So you can harvest crops when they're harvest ready, but you get seeds back if you wait until they're seeding. So if you're really, 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 really hungry, you can harvest early, but you're just not going to get the seeds back. Which is why I'm going to have Lewis wait until he gets seeds back. Seed-bearing cabbages. And my farming already leveled up. Very easy to level up farming. You level up farming when you succeed in harvesting crops that you've... Well, you don't actually have to be the one to plant the crops, but 43 cabbages. That's a lot of cabbage. And in order to keep the cabbages fresh the longest, I'm just going to immediately start freezing them to elongate their shelf life. Well, I keep a few to eat. Okay, he's still figuring out how to use stairs. Kill 100 zombies? No problem. Stairs? Well, oh my. Don't know what those are. Okay. Here we go. And last but not least, the watering can. I don't know when it's going to rain next. I haven't been watching the news or listening to the news. Make sure it's well watered. And healthy. Yep. All right, we're good to go. A lot of prep involved in maintaining your own base and farm and all that, right? Just this is how it be. Polar bear or polar to bear. Cheers. And thank you for the resub, and cheers to you, Scorpio. All right, so the first place I want to clear out. Yeah, I'm gonna go with long blunt. The first place I want to clear out is these dew case apartments. The chunk kind of runs. It runs just like on this curb here, as odd as that sounds. So the edge of the chunk is about where I'm standing on this curb. Maxu, thanks for the resub too. Which means that this DU case apartments is well within the chunk, and if I want to secure the neighborhood, it would be best. What I can end up doing is like just walling up the windows here. And then having fencing where the door is, but I'm going to want to clear this out. And also, it might be useful for metalwork too, because I can dismantle anything metal on my way in. You can see my metalwork going up now. Do I want to dismantle the trash can? Yeah, why not? Here, just delete the broken glass. There we go. I like the details of their buildings. Not all of them are in perfect detail, but like it has a mailroom and utility boilers and this. I don't think this is dismantleable. Really? I'm already getting drowsy? Pokevita, thank you for the resub too. Oh, wow, these chairs are all metal too. Awesome. That's convenient. What does broken glass do? It's... doesn't... I mean, you can eat it, I guess, if you are hungry like that. I don't know, it doesn't do anything. I don't advise you to eat it. Doesn't feel good going down. I'm already at Metalwork 1. Not so bad. I might need to mix in some junk food into my diet, because my weight is still dropping. I need to keep it above 75, so I'm not at risk of being underweight. But I am keeping an eye on it. Spread them around my base so I can hear the ninjas coming. I could do that. Metalwork versus VHS tapes. So there are VHS tapes that allow you to level up metalwork, but they're super uncommon. You're not going to find them in in typical video stores. They're like something that you have a tiny % chance to find in someone's home. Oof. This was a wrecked car. It was never going to be serviceable, so might as well delete it. Donk. Alright, character's getting definitely too tired to be out in the wild. So, time to turn in. Or maybe prep for tomorrow. So, question for you all. Do you want me to continue securing the neighborhood or pivot? I know I haven't done a lot of it, but now that you know what's involved, do you want me to continue or do you want me to do something else? It'll be left up to you. I might need to go down to the chicken place. I am not seeing... I probably have a propane tank upstairs, right? Yeah, I'm not really seeing propane tanks down there. Here's one. I'll place the propane tank just on the floor here. Refill. Cool. So now my torch is full. So farming 1 is red. What other books can I read? Cooking. So the next crops, I'm likely going to be able to harvest our... I forget actually the growth timer, but cabbages grow the fastest. I think it might be... Uh-oh. This carrot's diseased. Treat problem, pest flies. I need insecticide spray. Alright, let's make some of that. So I gotta get an empty spray can. And combine cigarettes with water to make an insecticide spray. And then treat it. I'll do 25. I don't really know the quantity that I need to do. Okay, disease, no. Cool. And this is why, even if you're not a smoker, you should collect cigarettes and milk. Because milk makes mildew spray, and cigarettes make the flies spray. Keep your plants healthy. Unless I'm wrong, flies and mildew won't spread. So if you don't catch it, it's fine. You're just not going to get a good yield off that crop. But devil's water fungus, which is uncurable, will spread. So if you find a tile with devil's water fungus, kill it. Destroy it. And then plant over it. It's the only way to deal with it, as far as I know. Alright. Continue to secure the surrounding area. Got it. Maybe I'll have an earlier start tomorrow. So my metalwork is almost level 2, which is way faster than I thought it would be. Thanks to all the furniture in that apartment building. But I think that the chain link fences are like level 5, maybe? So I'm kind of a long way off from that. Let's see. Do I have the... Make metal fences, yep. Make metal containers, make metal walls and roofs. So why the metal fences? Just because you can see through them, but they still keep the zombies out. So they're kind of useful in that regard. All right, I need my weight back up, so let's eat ham. Today will be ham day. And while I'm waiting for the ham, I'll read Electrical 1. Wouldn't be a bad idea when I'm already clearing out the houses for metalwork stuff to also, there's just some synergy to be able to break down any electrical and also break down any carpentry so that you're basically just demoing the home. Because why not, right? Get all the experience in one go. Seems more reasonable to me. I don't have any cooking knives in the kitchen. Do you think a smoker should make it easier to get out of breath? Probably. But if they ever updated the game for that, I would not take smoker. But it's entirely reasonable for that to be a punishment of being a smoker. And the day that that comes, people will stop taking it as a freebie trait. Thunk. If they did do that, it would be a larger point value. Yeah, I could see it going from +4 to like +6 or something. If they paired it with more penalties. Okay, I think before I continue demoing, I do actually want to read the electrical and the carpentry, and I'll just fully demo, because I think that's going to be the most bang for my buck. which means today is a little bit of boring reading. I apologize, but I'll try to race through it with a good view. Carpentry should be easy to finish up. I'm sitting in the rain. Oh, this is a bit more than just rain. Let's check the radio. This is probably the thunderstorm that was coming, I think. Blackout, yeah, I knew that. .75 Fahrenheit. Moderate. Something cloud. Expecting tropical storm. Man, that tropical storm really came inland, didn't it? Maybe it's not realistic, but I like it. So I think the kitchenette is properly inside now. It just required a save and load. Right? Because it's not writing in there anymore. It was just a weirdness about me expanding there. Oh, right. I forgot about my bacon. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, King of Louisville, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch any live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Stay safe out there in the zombie apocalypse.